Welcome to Raw Take, the lifeline to your unfiltered media experience. Today on today's show, we got a bunch of hot topics. Today we're gonna be talking about 6ix9ine and snitching and the G code and all those type of things. Another thing we're gonna be talking about is Joe Biden and his mental health, and we're gonna also talk about the Tara Reid comments. But one thing I need y'all to do, I need y'all to kill that like button, like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all go in the comments, tell us how we doing, you know, show us some love. Y'all do all that. On today's show, we got a special guest. We got Mr. Rush Sanders, uh, businessman in Houston, all around major talented man. Rush, tell us about yourself, man.
Guys, I am excited about being on the show today. It is a blessing to be on Raw Take. And how raw can we get? Can we get super raw? Can we get raw? But anyway, listen, excited to be on the show. We're going to be talking about some hot topics. It is Wednesday, folks. It is hump day. And somewhere, it may be happy hour. But we're doing some amazing things. We're also going to be, it's election time. Right now, guys, if you don't know, it is election time. It's what is this? This is May. We got 6 months to May, so we're definitely going to be pushing Rush to Vote, getting you guys out there engaged in the voting process, because this year has been a different year for us. We have entered a different era of our lives, and we're gonna have some fun today, guys. And we're gonna shake this up. We're gonna rile this show up. And listen, you guys go in the comments. You tell us what you think and everything. We need to hear your comments. We need to hear your feedback today. So let's get into it. Let's do it.
All right. First topic we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the country opening back up, local areas opening back up. So, Rush, give us your take on it.
Whew. Where do we start? The country opening back up. Wow. It's such a scary thing to even fathom, the country opening back up, because we were just in quarantine here for the last, month and a half. And the fact that you have people, people right now have cabin fever. They want to get out. They feel like they need to get out before they lose their minds. But with that, it comes responsibility on everybody's part, from the mayor to the government to the governor to just the local administration, just the local people here in your cities and your states. And if that's not done properly, you're going to see more deaths, and you're going to see more deaths regardless, because the country is opening all the way back up. And one thing we do know, the economy has to get back to where it was, and that's going to take a while. And with that comes deaths. With that comes a lot of irresponsibility. And if we don't do the right things as far as how we social distance and open up these businesses, this summer, you're going to see a lot of people actually suffering. And we're not in the same era, guys, as we were 6 months ago. 6 months ago, we were able to do certain things, hang out with our families, have parties, have gatherings, go to the movies. Now, that is all going to be totally changed. And opening up the country, one thing we know that this administration, this country is about right now, they know that they have to actually open up the country so people can start working again. You have a lot of people. It's 33 million people. There might be more that have lost their jobs. And a lot of people are suffering right now. So opening up the country is a good idea, but it comes with a lot of responsibility. I don't even think that we're ready for.
Now you mentioned about the people, how they used to have parties and everything, but
Yeah.
honestly, people are doing it now. And people are
Yeah.
not practicing the social distancing. Those guidelines in a lot of cities has been removed.
They have.
And so with that being said, that would take us back to when this thing started.
Of
And
course.
with New York didn't act fast enough, and look what happened. And so if we revert back to how things were at the beginning, when New York didn't act fast enough, which means we're acting too fast
Yeah.
on trying to get back to normal,
Right.
it's gonna be just a recipe for even more deaths. and
You,
more,
you know, and to chime in with you, D. Will, I saw something. The beaches, people, they're going to the beach like this is the thing to do, and it's crowds of people. It is a recipe for disaster. It's a cesspool. You got people, no mask, no nothing. It's like it's summertime, it's hot. I need to get out. Let's go to the beach. And these beaches are crowded. You got even certain bars. People have opened up their bars, should not have done that, right? And it's maybe some consequences behind that. But these people, they just know I got to get back. I got to make money. I got a family. I got this business to take care of. So without doing it properly comes a lot of irresponsibility on the table. And the fact about it is it's affecting the black and brown community. And some of us really can't. I mean, some of us can't even fathom that. Not even thinking about those things is because some of us have underlying conditions. And to know that not wanting to protect yourself, wear a mask, do social distancing, wash your hands because you may be affecting your grandmother, your grandfather, or those people that you love the most. Yeah.
yeah. The thing
So
is, people just don't do what they're supposed to do. Um, they don't do what they're supposed to do at all, and that's the scary thing.
So this is my whole entire thing about the country opening back up. To me, if we would have did the proper things in the beginning, like with the stimulus package, and if we would have rationed that money out to small businesses and to the people that really needed it, instead of to these mega corporations and just giving them a slush fund, because it doesn't make any sense to give these corporations money because the economy is closed. So we're going to give them money. They're going to run through all that money, and then in a couple of months, they're going to come out with their hands out saying we need more money, which is exactly that's happening now because they're trying to do another stimulus package, which I'm pretty sure the people won't get. It's going to be another slush fund for the corporations and the mega rich, and it's the same cycle over and over again. So if we would have gave this money to the people and small businesses, we would have definitely we wouldn't have to open up the country right away. People could have paid off their bills. $3 trillion, just like that. 3 trillion, bam, boom. We needed the money, bam. We dropped it just like that. That's why when people say that we can't pay for free college, free healthcare, I'm like, that's BS. You just dropped $3 trillion with the economy not even running. So just think if the economy was running and if it was working like a fine oil machine, and you pump that money back into the economy, you wouldn't have any of the problems America has. That's what COVID-19 did. It just took off the band-aid of what really America is. And we're a falling, crumbling empire. And it's like it took a pandemic for all these things to come out. 92,000 people have passed away, and the numbers is climbing and it's not stopping. And people want to say, "Oh, it's a hoax and this isn't real." Go look in New Orleans. Go to New York. Go to all these other small counties and cities in the states and see what's happening. People are dying. This is no joke. This is real. This is real life. This is worse than 9/11. And the fact that we can't see that's a major issue. But I digress. Next thing we're going to talk about 6ix9ine and him snitching to get out of jail and him snitching on people that basically tried to kill him. So if we start looking at this, I mean, I don't know what kind of gangsters would ever associate themselves with a dude that was screaming with rainbow hair, just causing so much attention to him. To me, that's not the gangster thing to do. If I was a quote unquote gangster, I would stay far away from the buffoon that is drawing all the attention to himself, trying to do gang stuff. To me, that's their folly. And my whole thing about it is, have we forgot the history of snitching? There are so many snitches that have been glorified in hip hop, media. I mean, just let's just name a few. We have uh, Whitey Bugler, Sammy the Bull, Frank Lucas, Joe Vecchiali. There's a list of people that have snitched, and these people get recognized in media culture and in movie culture and all this other stuff and in songs and stuff. They get highlighted, but this dude does it, and now we want to all turn our backs on him. We want to look at him like he's crazy. To me, that don't make no sense. I mean, they tried killing, they tried, they tried killing them, kidnapped them, uh, had sex with his baby mama. I mean, I'm just like, bruh, who wouldn't if you did all that to me, and then now I'm sitting in a jail cell and I'm looking around, I'm like, man, forget these dudes. It's all over, done deal. Like, no. So, D. Will, what's your take on it, man? What's your take?
Man, it's crazy, man. Um, I was watching Charlemagne, and he was like, the best job for this guy could be working for a Universal circus because he looks like a clown, and he kind of acts like a clown. It's just that's just the truth, man. I was watching videos, and I was like, this guy is like, he's not the right guy. What kind of gangster, like you said, what kind of gangster portrays himself with the rainbow hair? Look, he actually looks like a clown to me. I mean, I'm not hating on his style. That's his own thing. That's how he wants to present himself. But this is the real world, man. And he snitched on the very people that he was running with. And for one, I always feel like, if you're in the gang, there's going to be some loyalty. And I guess he felt like, his partners wasn't loyal to him because of what they did to him. But I mean, look at this dude, man. And then he brings a lot of attention to himself. I think that, and also seeing him talking about, like, what it's because, where he came from. He grew up with nothing and all of this stuff, and that's fine and dandy. But now that you have something, why would you want to parade around like some kind of lunatic? Like, you have no. He doesn't even act like a person that came from nothing. He acts like a brat. That's what I see. When I see him, I see like this big brat, this bragging clown. He brags on this, he brags on that. But the truth is, there is no God of the social media. That's what he calls himself, But and then he gets out when he does get out of jail, he goes back and doing the same stuff again, which is, being just being foolish again. Uh, Melanin this, melanin that. I just think the guy, he just needs to really just slow it down, appreciate what he's accomplished, and just grow up, man. Grow up and act like he has some home training.
Yeah, man, he needs to just
Listen,
take that money and just go somewhere and just lay low for a little
listen.
bit.
6ix9ine was the money. He was no gangster. He's the money. So the guys that he associated with, they were the gangsters. They used him to for drugs, for etc. Whatever kind of illegal stuff that they were doing. They used him for the money. He's no gangster. He was just a dude that could rap, that had the voice, that had whatever they used him. So what happened was when things were when they were being investigated, as far as a snitch, you know, wow, with that word has been used so loosely and everything. I mean, in his situation, I think he said, you know what, you did this to me. You was messing with my baby mama. You tried to rob me. You tried to do all these things. So you know what, I'm telling. But at the end of the day, you have to, whatever you were doing dirt too, right? He did his dirt.
Yeah.
And so I think his revenge was basically, you know what, I'm taking all y'all down. I'm taking all y'all down. I don't care who it is. And this is what it is. So you have to realize something. He was the money. And so they probably was taking advantage of him. They probably was stealing money from him. And so when he went into this thing, I'm not doing 45 years. Forget that. 45 years? What? Whatever time it was. I don't know which time. But now you're looking at a guy that's going to be so paid. When he got out, did you see the views that this dude got? He came on one video. He had, I mean, he broke a record. So you're looking at someone that's about to make a bunch of money from the fact that he did go to federal prison, he did snitch, and now he's going to be super paid more than some of these artists. So the thing about that is, I would tell this gangsters, if you're gonna be gangsters, stop using guys that's not in that era. They're not street cred. You're using them. So that comes with some other stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of like a really like with these guys that were gangsters that were like associated with him. You took a chance with someone that didn't know nothing about the streets. So that comes with consequences, right?
But
That comes with a
check
lot.
this out. Now he's about to get paid. True. I mean, he's already getting paid. True. But here's the thing. Now he has to look over his shoulder because he snitched. This guy had to move uh
Indeed,
two
indeed.
times in 4 days. And then, he has the nerve to say, okay, I'm not that hard to find if you're looking for me. Well, then why are you moving? Um, money is not everything, dude. Like, you can make money, but if it's a risk on your life, then what are you going to choose? You know what I'm saying? So I agree with what Gia said. Yeah, he should take the money and just lay low, and stop, kind of buffooning around like he is. Kind of lay low. Let things die down. People looking for you. So, being in the spotlight is just not the smart thing to do.
Man,
Um, but
this guy's young. He's very young. He has a bunch of money. He got out to a bunch of money. He's not laying low. He is at a widening part. You got to think about it. He beat the system. He snitched. He beat the system. He took a whole bunch of other guys with him into federal prison. They're doing years, 15, 20 years. So his price to fame is that money. He sold his loyalty out to that crew because they all had been doing whatever they were doing. And now you're talking about someone that he's young. He doesn't care. He has not a care worth. So, but he is gonna have to keep watching his back. So we'll see what happens on this snitch on this. Let's say snitch nine. I'm sorry, snitch nine. I mean, this came out snitch nine. My fault,
that's pretty
man.
good.
Hey, it is what it is. Snitch nine.
Snitch man. Yeah, I like that. We're gonna roll with that. Well, guys, in other news, let's talk about Joe Biden. Um, um, and I was watching some videos on Joe Biden, and my take on the guy is, first of all, he can't even finish a sentence. Um, just to watch him, I actually kind of felt sorry for him because it seems like maybe I mean, he's obviously going through some mental issues, some health issues, that's affecting his thought pattern. They try to say that he's always been like that, but I don't think so. So I was watching him, and he can't finish a sentence every time he tried to say something. He forget what he's saying while he's saying it. I mean, that just seems like maybe he's at the beginning stage of like maybe dementia or Alzheimer's or something's going on, dude, um, with his mental health. And do you really want a president that can't finish a sentence? He has the Democratic Party backing him and everything. But truth about it is, when it boils down to it, a man that can't even finish a sentence is having mental health issues. Trump is going to eat him up. Um, but honestly, I would be kind of scared to have a president that could have a mental breakdown at any moment. What do y'all think?
Well, that's why they're looking to like have a strong vice president. But my take on it is, I mean, how can the American people do this? And I know what Joe Biden represents. Joe Biden represents the Obama era. He represents a calm era that everybody's used to, back to normal things where we didn't have the crazy orange peel president out there, saying crazy stuff every 5 seconds. So that's what Joe Biden represents. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you have to realize that Joe Biden is he is mentally not there. If you watch the debate stage, he couldn't even get a single word out. He was babbling over it. Then whenever he's like, "Here, you can just take my time." Like, that's not the type of leader you want or need in the crisis era we are in right now. We're going through a
Right.
pandemic. There's 43 million people who are about to be out of health insurance. There's the unemployment rate is sky high. I think it's like over 16 million people that's unemployed. So, you need somebody who's competent. You need a competent leader in hard times. And you can't
Yeah.
just rely on his staff and who he has around him. I'm not voting for his staff. I'm voting for the person who's running for president. Why if I'm voting for somebody's staff, then why not have that person run for office? But one of the things Joe Rogan said, he said, is this really the best person the Democrats can prop up? Like, honestly, is this the best person we have? Because I swear, like, man, I know there was a lot of hate for Bernie, but I mean, the man who can't finish his sentences and the man who, and the funny thing is, Joe Biden is now taking a lot of Bernie Sanders platforms, like, oh, we need a health care. Of course we need health care. We're going through a pandemic where people don't have health care. But
Mm.
Rush, what's your take on it?
Here's the deal. Here is the real raw deal. And people always say it's the lesser of two evils, because you have Mr. 45 in office now, and you have Joe Biden. So we have some decisions to make. And do I agree with everything with Joe Biden? Hell no. I would be foolish to tell you that. Uh, America has to make some decisions of who should be in this White House. I mean, you got to look at where we are now, what we've been through in the last couple of years, what we're coming back from as far as this pandemic. How does that affect us? What can Joe Biden actually promise America as far as that is concerned? So it's a lot of issues. I mean, I saw some clips and I was like, what, this guy's fumbling at the mouth. He's jumbling up words as far as numbers, as far as just certain different things I saw on his tour. So America has to make a decision of what they want, and what they're willing to accept when it comes down to it. What they want, what they're willing to accept, and what do we need? And who can give us this? Is it Joe Biden, or do we go back into, are we going back into the Trump era? So people have to make a real decision as far as what that looked like. I mean, of course, we could have probably had some other great candidates, and I'm not thinking there were other candidates that were better than Joe, but this is what you have, and it's like, I agree with you. This is where we're pushing to have a great vice president, someone that can make those decisions behind Joe, right? You're gonna need that, and everybody's talking about a woman candidate, which is great. He needs that. He's gonna need that just to stay. Just we're in a mess, folks. We're in a mess. I'm just gonna say that we're in a mess, and America has to make some real decisions for the next 4 years to see what do they actually really want and what they need.
Rush, you
So
said something real good. You talked about the American people, but you talked about them just almost accepting anything. And you know what? I'm tired of that narrative. We need to stop accepting anything that oh, this is what this here's the ham sandwich. Take it. No, I don't want a ham sandwich. I want the steak, I want the eggs, I want the nice things. Don't be mad when he probably eventually loses because because I have to go vote for him. No, I don't have to go vote for somebody who's not going to help me benefit my life and help me progress forward. If The American people need to start taking hostage of our votes. You want our votes? You give us something to vote for. I'm tired of the fall in line attitude. That fall in line attitude, that's
I
weak.
agree.
That is so weak. It's
Agree.
just that's a weak narrative, and we need to separate ourselves from that. If they want our votes, they have to come meet us at the table. Come sit at the table and let's negotiate. That's the thing, and a lot of more young people need to get involved, and because we hold all the power, we are the largest voting bloc. That's what people have to understand. The young is we hold all the power.
That's right, man. That's right, and I totally agree with that. To vote for anyone, you have to have a reason. You have to be given a reason. Um, and I also want to ask you guys, what do you think about the Tara Reid incident where Joe Biden finally, he finally speaks out about concerning that. Um, of course, he denied it. Of course, at this point, it's kind of a he say she say thing. So, what do you guys think about that?
Well, here, I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Uh, I feel like you know, that was back in the era where that was very common. Like, I mean, it wasn't really up until like the late 2000s that we really had a strong Me Too movement, a movement for women. So in the 90s, I could definitely see it. Bill O'Reilly and all the people at Fox was groping women until 2015, 2016. So I can definitely see Joe Biden doing that. There's a lot of evidence. Her mother called into Larry King and talked about it. She told one of her neighbors about it. I mean, she tried coming out months prior to this, so I definitely believe this is something that he did, and probably he probably can't even remember it. He probably like I don't really remember that. So so who wants to say? Yeah, I'm just it's very disgusting because they hopped on Brett Kavanaugh, which they should have, but you turn in a blind eye for Joe Biden because he's your nominee, and then people come with the counter argument. Well, well, okay, that doesn't mean okay. The Republicans have their rapists, the Democrats have their rapists. Battle of the rapists. Nah, man, I'm no, no. I'm tired of people they just try and give you anything. Just vote for this. Just vote for this person, no matter how flawed, no matter they're not speaking to you, we don't even have the same interest, but you have to vote for this person because the other person is so bad. Nah, I'm tired of that. And I'm pretty sure he probably did touch that poor woman, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot more other cases that's out there that he's trying to
Yeah,
hide. And
yeah.
the cases are what, sealed up in Delaware, and they put a stop to that when they were about to be released. So
You know,
you know
he also had some women spoke out about it. It was non-sexual touching, but you know, that's just, who knows the ones that didn't mention it that it was sexual. So like you said, he probably did do it. At this point, we can't say for sure yes or no, but for one, we all know that he can't remember anything because he forgets even what he's saying while he's saying it. So yeah, he did it and don't remember, or he did it and he just choose to not remember, or it's a small possibility that he didn't do it because I do believe this. If you're a woman and you come forward and you claim that someone sexually assaulted you in some way, I don't think that it's 100% fair to just right off the back believe that woman because there have been cases where women has lied.
and
Just
it
like a
can.
man can lie about it, a woman can as well. You know what I'm saying? So, it's worth like really, really, really investigating, check into it. Don't just believe the woman right off the back because what if she's lying? Then you got someone that's going to suffer because of a lie because you just believe the woman right off the back with no, it wasn't no contesting. We can't have that, man. We can't have that.
We are in a era where the Me Too movement is strong. Women are speaking out. Sexual assault is now warranted. I totally, whether it's a man or a woman, but we're in a movement. We're in an era to where what you did 20 years ago can very well come back to bite you on your you know what. It could come back, and
Yeah,
and sometimes people say, well, she's waiting now. Why she didn't say it then, or why she didn't wait a couple of years. So you have to give these women the benefit of the doubt into whatever investigation, whatever evidence comes up, or whatever has to happen. And here's another situation. Now you're looking at, we just talked about the lesser of two evils. So now you have, I looked at the polling. Some people are not convinced. Some people are, because people are looking at all different factors, where they are. Okay, why is this person coming out now? But you have to give any woman that comes out and says that she's been assaulted, sexually abused, you have to give that woman or that person the benefit of the doubt until the evidence or the facts come to the table. But in this situation, you're looking at both parties, whether you're Republican or Democrat. You have to seek out what's right at the end of the line. What's right, So we're gonna see how this really unfolds, and you're gonna see it's election time. Once again, it's election time. So it's May. So you're gonna see a lot of things being thrown against the wall in the next 6 months. And we'll see how those things really unfold. We'll see how the Democrats, how they support that, how the women that back him, what they're saying, so it's a lot of things that has to come to the forefront as far as the table, for us to get a clear view of how we're going to really vote this election. Who do we want in office? So it's a lot of things that we have to deal with mentally just going into this election, as far as what's not, and who's the best for this job, and what other things that does Joe Biden have behind him that we don't know about, right? So
right,
we'll
right.
see, we'll see. It is what it is.
Yeah. Like I was saying that we do have to give the benefit of the doubt. You're right about that. Um, but I just don't believe that we should just, okay, she said he did it, he did it. Let's go.
But
It shouldn't be like that.
and I want to say something to you. Yes, it's been many women that have came and lied on men's name. You have men that are incarcerated right now.
Yeah,
You have
yeah,
men that were locked up for years, 25, 30 years. They gave of their life because some woman said he did it. She didn't really know, whatever the circumstances may be. So I know every case is a case by case situation. You can't just jump on board and say, oh, he did it. This is the proof. This is the evidence, unless you have real evidence. And so
yeah.
sometimes even the time factor, because I think this was done in 1992.
93.
93. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
93. So, I mean, people also look at the time factor and they say, okay, yeah, you're going to be a president. Are you trying to be the president now? Huh. Wait till they get a load of this. So, all of those things are factors that play a major part, especially when you're sitting on a hierarchy trying to really do something. So they play a major part, definitely.
I have another problem with, you know, um, I guess I can kind of understand the waiting period, like if something like that happens, a person waiting. Um, at the same time, I feel like I do feel like, if it happens at the time it happens, yeah, you should say something. But the truth about it is, I hear people all the time say, well, people never change. But the truth is, people do change. Um, I'm sure when Joe Biden was younger, he didn't forget what he was saying while he was saying it. I'm pretty sure he was able to complete a sentence. Um, so people change physically, mentally, emotionally. People change. They don't stay the same. And because of that, if you bring up something that happened yesteryears, that person's not the same today as they it's a possibility, should I say, that person's not the same today as they were back then. So now you bringing up something from from way back into today, and you're making the person suffer for something they did back then, which I'm not saying that a person do wrong, they should get off, that it should be just swept under the rug. But at the same time, you bring in, some things into a person's life or career or whatever now that should have been dealt with then, because now they may not be that same person, and now they may be trying to do something, trying to live a righteous life, trying to
Yeah.
live and do things good, and you bringing dirt from the past into their time of trying to do things good, you can seriously just mess it all up for a person. You can just completely destroy a person's life. So I think that um, if something happened to a person, they need to speak up at the time. It may not be easy to do that, especially sexual assault, but I just don't think that it should be something you wait, because if it's important enough to bring it up now, it was important enough to bring it up when it happened.
I kind of agree with that sentiment. But if you look at the pattern of a lot of women who are raped, they follow that same pattern. They don't. They
You're
wait,
right. You're
because
right.
that's something hard to like try and tell people, because there's a
Of
stigma
course.
of this is your fault. This is, you wanted this. You brought this upon yourself. But one of the things that you were saying, David, I mean, Joe Biden has been creepily touching on people forever, and he has not stopped. So I do believe, I believe exactly, people do change. People go totally different directions in life. But Joe Biden is a serial groper, and that is on camera for the past 20 years. And you can see the cringe of people, like when he
Did
goes
you
to
say serial groper?
serial groper. That is what Joe Biden is. He's a serial groper. So I mean, I understand people change it, but nah, he's still doing it. He's still creepy Joe. He's still gropey Joe. Joe, however, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah. He, you know, I like that what you called him, by the way. A serial. Uh, but in his case, I'm not saying that he didn't. Of course, he didn't do it or whatever. Because my honest opinion, I think he did. But what I am saying is, why wait? I understand that it could be hard to bring out something like that, or to come forward with something like that. But if it's hard then, what makes it easier now? I just feel like, it could be.
It's probably still is hard. I mean, that's a big burden
Yeah,
to
so
have to
that's what
take
I'm saying.
on.
If it's still hard now, then you should have just done it back then.
When
And
it
then, and
happened,
then guess what?
yeah.
Guess
I
what?
mean,
We would have all known way back then who Joe Biden really is.
but she did come out earlier. I think she came out. She tried getting this out like a year ago, or a year and 6 months ago. She tried getting this out, and
Yeah,
she
yeah.
went to the Me Too movement, and they brushed it under the rug. So I mean, she tried coming out,
Yeah.
and they,
But see, that what you say, how long ago? Like a year and a half?
yeah,
That's still not 1993, but I just believe that if it happened back then, it should have came out then. Then, because right now, Joe Biden is not even in the same status that he had back then in
yeah.
life. So when you wait till a person gets some this kind of backing like he has, you basically kicking against the mountain. It's not gonna move. It's too late. You should have said something back then.
The most important part, we're going to see how his supporters, the most thing, the thing about this, you're going to see how his supporters really act in all this. As far as, they've already found this stuff out. It's been blasted everywhere. So, his support, his voters, his audience have to make a decision. The people that are thinking about voting for him, that are basically on the gate as far as voting for him. It's a lot of factors that they have to think about in reference to this, and then we have to really see how this unfolds. As far as the investigation and the timeline and all these different factors. So this is an interesting election that we're really up against, and wow. All I could just say is wow, wow. So
Yeah.
that's going to be the biggest thing as far as is this believable for his voters? Do they think that he really did it? Do they think that? I mean, it's a bunch of factors that play a major part of this election, and we just have to see how things really unfold. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
what it is.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching Raw Take. I want to thank our special guest, Rush Sanders. He would thank you for giving us your take, man. He's gonna be on the show every Wednesday. Our next show will be Friday night, maybe Saturday morning. Um, we're gonna keep it going, man. I need y'all to like, comment, and subscribe. I need y'all to kill that like button. Kill that like button. We're trying to get our first 100 subscribers. So, spread the word, bring it out. Come on, y'all. Show some love, show some support. Thank y'all for watching.
Great.